going, guys? Thanks for basically tuning in to another episode of Yamanote Tech Podcast. This podcast is basically a starter podcast about my idea of building a business and the ideas that I come up with, and the ones that work I will share with you, and the ones I don't I will also share with you. Each week I try to also add a little bit of time around my podcast. So I would like to make sure that the things that are going on in the current events and the movies that I watch or the videos I watch, I'll also talk about until there is some more I content I may want to talk about specifically. Overall, I would like to eventually start getting people who are interested in also building a business or branding, or maybe you have a YouTube channel or Instagram page or a website that you're interested in trying to, make a little bit more flashier, get more views, and create more content. We can all work together. So, if you want to basically, chime in right now, you can just always give me an email. Just send me an email using chris.ksamuel.jr@gmail.com. And there, just, let me know your thoughts, how you like the podcast, if you didn't like it. And also you can share with other people too. So we're going to move on to the next bit of the podcast, and be right back. Okay, so just let everybody know who haven't listened to the last two podcasts is that this podcast is made on the Anchor.fm website application. Anchor FM is a podcasting creating application that allows you to create your podcast. You can upload it. You can even save other bits of clips if you would like to use inside your podcast. And it also allows you to share it across several different platforms. So right now I can use Spotify. There's a few others like smaller ones, but once it's already uploaded, it's basically ready to go. You can use your Facebook account, Google account, or Twitter account to sign in, and then the rest is all rest is all history. So moving on. Last week the episode of Joker, or not episode, the movie Joker came out, and I went to go see it, and it was really great. I enjoyed Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal of Joker from the Batman comics, and it really was more about like a man who lost everything, and how it's his depression and led to his insanity, or his I don't know. It's kind of like you have to go watch it, but I won't really you know give you too many spoilers. What I really want to do is just help you understand that the show is made. If you're not a Batman fan, you won't necessarily miss anything. This show pretty much is for everybody. I recommend it for people over the age of 16. I don't think you could be. I think there's rated R too. I think if you're under 18, you can't be in the movie theater. But I'm pretty sure most of my audience is probably over the age of 18. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and move on into the next segment, which is gonna be talking more about my idea of the building of the platform using business. Business. Wait, yeah, I would use business strategies. That's the word. Business strategies. And one of the business strategies I'm basically using is using my podcast. Also, breaking down the things I already know into pieces of paper. It's like if I'm proficient in learning how to learn new things, or basically working with web technologies. Also, I'm a big consumer of social media and internet content, but I'm not necessarily a content creator. So I'm spending a lot of time writing by hand, different scripts I want for this particular podcast or other types of, mediums that I might use. I might later on maybe have a, like what we call like a, like a, I'll record or videotape the podcast while also creating the content on the audio version and then send them out at the same time. I One way that I would actually was going to do that was there's a YouTube allows you to stream live stream your video from your phone, from your computer and from your phone if you wanted to, and then with you streaming that you can upload it all from one feed. So that's something I'm interested in doing. If you're not necessarily familiar with YouTube, if you have a YouTube channel and you sign up for the live stream, after you have to wait 1 day, and then you're allowed to record stuff live. And I think it basically goes on for endless. There's no end limit to how large your file is because of the fact that um, you're live streaming it. It's a different, I guess, category. If you were trying to like upload a video, you would be limited to how long that video is if you just created a YouTube channel. So for more information, you should, visit YouTube's creators website. The YouTube creators web channel, the YouTube channel to find out more about that. The other thing is I wanted to basically talk about was the idea of using audio or audiobooks. So I've been reading a lot of audio books, and one book I basically I went back to read before I started doing this podcast was Gary Vaynerchuk's Crushing It. And if you're not familiar with Gary V or Gary Vaynerchuk, he is I guess I don't know how to really, he's a internet influencer, if that term makes any sense. To people who aren't necessarily familiar with that type of person, that person usually they take advantage of the internet, of content creation and learns how to market that. And then he also shares his, failures and success, and he uses this to drive his followers and to also help people who are already in business learn how to even merge into the stream of the internet. I grew up, my very first account, I would say, where I was it my, I think it was MySpace. And I was just playing around with it. You could upload videos and movies, and not really movies. You upload videos and pictures and music and stuff. But it wasn't until about maybe I think 5 years ago, whereas I started to see that I can actually had something to contribute. And Gary V will basically go into each segment of all the new ones, all the new like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. There's Snapchat, and podcast has been around for a while, but I haven't really dived into it. The oldest podcast I actually listened to would probably be, I think Orange Lounge Radio, and then after that would be that's still on today is the Cheap Ass Gamer. These two podcasts have been around for over a decade, and I find that the people who make these podcasts are usually in groups. It's just two or more people, at a time, and they share all their information about whatever they're talking about. Both are about games and music and the gamer lifestyle, and then they also help you with finding games, and they also let people talk too. They've grown pretty much, both podcasts, but those are, I would say, indie radio that turned out to be pretty successful, in my opinion. So I'm going to take another break, and I'm going to go ahead and set up the next segment where I'm probably going to speak a little bit more about my strategies and maybe some ideas on utilizing what I was talking about last week, which utilizing Plex and VPN. Okay. So thanks for basically still sticking in here with whoever is still listening. But this this part of the podcast, I'm going to just talk a little bit more about the strategy I basically have. So I'm going to be spending more time trying to research as much as I possibly can about my topics and utilizing the this particular medium of like making podcast. I don't want to like ramble on too much. So I have an idea of maybe breaking down, the things I have to say, and then maybe having clips and promoting those clips on different podcasts. It takes a lot of work, but I've actually have a plan for that, which is, I might start out with my development of the podcast, editing and or making videos and making small little like commercials for lack of a better word, using like some video editing software, maybe something from Adobe Fireworks or maybe even something as simple as iMovie, and use those clips to promote like what I'm basically talking about. The other one I wanted to talk about was the utilization of Alexa. So Alexa has an app that you can use on your phone called Alexa Skill. So you can tell like Alexa, hey Alexa, tell me about my flash briefing. And if you have a particular podcast that's available on YouTube, you can look it up on YouTube and you can hear it. So I'm gonna actually try to set that up. So if you wanted to, I feel like voice is gonna be the best. It's gonna be like one of the top things that it's like not the top thing. It's gonna probably be like the next best, the next big thing when it comes down to social mediums. And because we're moving into a time where we are looking for speed. Even Gary spoke about this a few times because he even has Alexa 365. He has Gary 365 where you can like say, "Hey Alexa, show me this Gary, V365 podcast," and basically, the podcast will come up. It would search for it and then show it. So I want to find a way to do that as well. Small little bits that I can maybe make a commercial about what my podcast is about. I feel like I'm going to talk more about podcasting in general and entrepreneurship and finding a way to take the things that people already need from me on a daily basis and find a way to talk about it, in a wide studio, like not wide studio, in a wider audience. So right now I have like, a few ideas, but these are some of the ideas that I want to work with. The other one I want to work with though is utilizing Plex. And I don't know if everybody know about that, but I spoke about it in the last two podcasts, which Plex is pretty much a like a software as a service. So you are able to, download this software online and then install it into your computer, and then you can kind of stream videos, music from your personal computer, to your audience or to your own phone. Like, so if you have some movies that you would like to basically watch, you don't have to necessarily upload them on YouTube, or you don't have to upload them on a you don't have to upload them on YouTube or any public websites, Dropbox. You can actually have them all stored safely in your house, and then you would utilize a client with a web client, which is basically like an application that will basically do all of the connection. It will do all the requests of getting your videos or posting your videos or whatever basically needs to get done between your device and the computer. So if you have let's say, if you close your eyes, take a minute, just think about you have your own computer in your house and you might have your iPhone or your Android phone, and you want to go ahead and utilize this service so you can show somebody a video from a trip, for example, and you can download the Plex service, get it set up for your own house, then you can go ahead and then you can download the Plex app from the Google Marketplace or App Store, and then you'll be able to see all of the videos that are in the folder that the Plex server is, I guess, what we would call hosting, so to speak. And then it also allows you to um, even add even more stuff to it. There's so much that you can even like have like all your movies and videos could be living in your house where you can stream everything from like one server. Now a lot of people don't really like they don't really uh, know too much about. A lot of people don't know too much about it, but like if you're a big movie buff and you have your own movies and they're yours to yourself, you can do this. Now the other caveat to this is that you can also share um, a link to other people who probably like who probably who are outside of your household. It doesn't really have to be outside your house. Like, you could just share this link, and the link will allow people to subscribe to your server and allow you to um, take the what we would call take the link and then also download Plex and then be able to stream these movies from the phone. So pretty much it's like Netflix for your own personal stuff. It's a really cool service, and I'm actually going to probably over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to build my own computer and actually have things streaming from there. And I also maybe I might even start having it where all my podcasts are streaming from my computer, for instance. If you are like if the possibilities are endless with it. If you are trying to if you're trying to go ahead and let's say, how would I basically put it? Let's say that you are trying to maybe have like a special classes that you didn't want to put up online just yet. You can have all your classes, all your videos and your all your audio clips and everything on this piece here, and then people can go ahead and go to it and view them, download them, whatever they need to be. And you can even have a service, where this would be something easier for some people in other countries that say probably don't have access to YouTube or Facebook or something. What case, so you don't have to have an account that way. I think this is something really, really, really nice. And if you're interested, let me know in an email or in the comments. And with that, I'm going to take another break, and then I'll be right back.